How much do you value yourself in your relationships? People with a kind heart often give so much to others that they may neglect their own well-being. You may find yourself thinking, if I endure just a little longer, things will get better, or if they are struggling, it's my duty to help them. But Buddhism teaches us that the connections we make, called karma, have a significant impact on our lives. These connections can bring us either happiness or sorrow. Choosing the right relationships and knowing when to cut ties with toxic people is one of the most crucial decisions we make for our future. If you're a kind person, you may feel guilty or confused when it's time to let go of certain relationships. However, Buddhism teaches us that protecting your peace and well-being is not cold-hearted. It's an act of wisdom and self-care. In this video, we'll explore the 5 types of people you need to cut ties with to preserve your energy and build a healthier future. Remember, the act of letting go is not about hating anyone. It's about protecting your peace and focusing on the relationships that nourish you. 1. People who don't show gratitude. Buddhism places great importance on the concept of dharma, which refers to the teachings that encourage us to live with gratitude and respect for others. Gratitude is essential in creating meaningful relationships. When someone takes your help or kindness for granted, it creates a one-sided connection that can lead to emotional burnout. For example, you might help someone in need only to be met with indifference or entitlement. Initially, it might seem like no big deal, but over time, the lack of appreciation begins to take a toll on your spirit. When we repeatedly give without receiving gratitude in return, it can feel as though our kindness is being exploited. Buddhism teaches us that maintaining relationships with people who don't express gratitude can lead to emotional exhaustion. Cutting ties with people who fail to appreciate your efforts is not an act of cruelty. It's a way to preserve your energy and create space for relationships where gratitude flows naturally. Letting go of these relationships helps you safeguard your kindness and emotional well-being. 2. People who only take and never give. Buddhism also emphasizes the importance of compassion, or karuna. True compassion means showing empathy for others while also taking care of ourselves. Some people, however, will continually take from you without ever offering anything in return. They constantly ask for help, but never support you when you need it. Being a kind person, you may find yourself giving without asking for anything in return. However, when this dynamic becomes one-sided, it can cause stress and resentment. In Buddhism, this type of relationship is viewed as unbalanced and unhealthy. It can drain your energy, leaving you feeling depleted. It's crucial to recognize that rejecting these one-sided relationships is not selfish. By distancing yourself from people who only take, you're protecting your energy and fostering more balanced, compassionate relationships. This action is a form of wisdom, where you create space for positive, reciprocal connections that will enrich both your life and theirs. 3. People who shift blame to you. Buddhism teaches the concept of karma, which explains that our actions lead to consequences. When someone constantly shifts blame for their own mistakes onto you, they're not only being unfair to you, but also denying themselves the opportunity for growth. In the workplace or personal life, some people might try to pass off their failures as your responsibility. They avoid accountability, and in the process, you find yourself taking on burdens that aren't yours. If you continue to bear the weight of others' mistakes, it will erode your peace and well-being. Buddhism advises us not to remain in such toxic relationships, as they can create inner turmoil. Cutting ties with people who always blame others allows you to reclaim your power and set healthy boundaries. It also provides the other person with the space to learn accountability, which is crucial for their personal growth. By standing up for yourself and stepping away from these toxic dynamics, you protect your mental peace and foster environments where responsibility is shared fairly. For people who gossip and speak ill of others. In Buddhism, there is a concept called right speech. This principle encourages us to speak in a way that is truthful, kind, and beneficial. Gossip and slander violate this principle and can negatively affect not only the people being talked about, but also the ones listening. If you're constantly surrounded by people who speak ill of others, even when they're not present, you might find that negativity begins to affect your own mindset. The more you hear about others' flaws or shortcomings, the more it may breed negativity in your own heart. And when these individuals are gossiping about others, you can be sure they'll gossip about you when you're not around. Buddhism teaches that harmful speech can contaminate your mind and your relationships. Cutting ties with people who engage in gossip or negativity is a form of self-preservation. It is an act of choosing positivity, kindness, and truthfulness in your life. By doing so, you protect your peace and cultivate relationships that uplift rather than tear down. 5. People who hinder your growth. Lastly, Buddhism teaches us that life is a journey of growth and enlightenment. Some people, however, may try to hold you back from reaching your full potential. They may criticize your goals or make you doubt your abilities. These individuals may tell you that your dreams are unrealistic or that you're being foolish for pursuing them. They don't encourage you to chase your passions, but instead impose their own limitations on you. Buddhism advises us to surround ourselves with people who uplift and support our growth. If someone's words or actions hinder your progress, it's time to distance yourself. Cutting ties with people who block your potential is a brave and necessary step toward living a life of fulfillment and growth. By choosing to let go, you make room for relationships that will help you blossom into the person you are meant to become. Conclusion. Buddhism teaches us that the relationships we form have a profound impact on our lives. Choosing the right people to associate with is essential for maintaining your peace, energy, and well-being. Cutting ties with people who drain you, manipulate you, or hold you back is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. It's an act of love for yourself and an acknowledgement that you deserve relationships that nourish and support your growth. Remember, letting go of harmful relationships is not about harboring ill will or resentment. It's about choosing to protect your peace, to create space for new and better connections, and to step into the life you deserve. As you embark on this journey of self-care, remember that it takes courage to make these decisions. But with each step, you will find yourself closer to a life filled with positive energy and meaningful relationships. If this message resonates with you, please leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Your story could inspire someone else to take the necessary steps to create healthier relationships in their own lives. Thank you for watching, and I wish you peace, happiness, and fulfilling relationships in your journey ahead.